Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and we are live for another debate show. We're in the building. We got man like Neeks Sport in the building. Neeks, how are you, man? Everything all good?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, big game tomorrow, isn't it? So it's the calm before the storm. Watching a
Calm
few of
before
the
the storm.
typical Premier
Exactly
League
that, man.
games and that.
Yeah, man. Good to see you as back, and obviously Kaz is in the building. Kaz, how you feeling, man? You in the Wembley spirit? Are you in the Carabao Cup spirit? What are you saying?
Nah, there's no such thing as a Carabao Cup spirit. But I'm alright, man. Already won. Already won the what? How about that?
Okay. I like the energy. Man. Big up, big up. Obviously, Adam as well. Big up to you, man. Thanks for coming on last minute as well.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
worries.
it. What are you telling me? You good?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm still buzzing from the Barcelona game, to be honest. That felt
Yeah.
good. So, all good. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But you know what, man? It's the first, hopefully, trophy in 6 years. Do you think there's gonna be pressure leaks that they feel from the players, or do you reckon we're thriving on it right now with the energy and the kind of, you know, the feeling, the positive feeling around the club? Do you reckon the adrenaline they can keep it up? What do you think the players are going through right now?
I think, firstly, this is going to be a lot of these players kind of first time in Wembley in front of us, especially in front of a big crowd. I know we went to, did we have a semis against Leicester? Actually, no, that might be a quarterfinals against Leicester in the FA Cup. We've reached Europa League final once in the recent past. But to go to Wembley, full crowd, I think there might be some players. There might be some players who might feel a little bit pressure at the beginning, but I think there's enough experience within the squad, and especially on the pitch, who dealt with atmospheres like that, superior to it, more tense, more fiery, than they're going to get in the Carabao Cup. That will allow everyone to calm down, at least, by the early minutes of the game if they're nervous before. I think it's important to be nervous. Like you have to have an element of nerves going into a game because it means that the game means something. I don't want these players to think, oh, it's just the Carabao Cup. No, it's a final. It's a trophy on the line. Have the nerves, but know how to manage those nerves. So I think, yeah, there might be a few nerves in the game, but I know I'm going to be nervous watching it. But I want the players to calm me down with their performance, and I trust that they can do that.
Kaz, what do you reckon tomorrow? Like the expectation, the feeling. You know what I mean? We're all positive. We're all excited. But what do you reckon in terms of 6 years? We should never been. You know, this situation should never be really happened, isn't it? Like it's mad that we've gone 6 years without a trophy, but to, like we could make history tomorrow. Like in terms of like the Ten Hag era. You know what I mean? Kickstarting it tomorrow is massive. You have to kickstart it, man.
Yeah, I think it's just more of a case where it's like we win this trophy, but then it'll feed hunger into winning more trophies this season alone. Europa League specifically more than the FA Cup, because I think that's more, I don't know what it is, but I think it's more realistic. I think these lot are hungry for some European success. FA Cup, obviously Moyes just won 4-0, so it's like it's a good sign for us. No getting sacked, no manager bounce, so we might actually go to the West Ham game and give Moyes another slap. But yeah, man, it's just we should never be 6 years without any sort of trophy. Like Alex Ferguson went at least every other year winning something. You know what I mean? Or if not consecutively winning something. Like that's the way it should be, but it hasn't been for the last decade, and that's reality of the football club at the moment. You know, with everything going on, even just the recent news at the current time, business tactics and all that. I wouldn't read too much into it. The opening bids were always going to get rejected. So,
yeah, of course.
yeah, man, we need to just be getting up on top, pause, and then yeah, man, seeing where we can go from there. Like even if it's just even if I wouldn't even mind if he didn't win a trophy this year. Like I would said that about 6 months ago. Like I don't mind, just want to see where it is. But now things have changed. I expect to win that trophy against someone like Newcastle with no disrespect whatsoever. You're not as big as us. You never will be as big as us. And we got Champions League winners in that team, World Cup winners in that team, leading us out into that field. And we also got a manager who knows how to win finals and also has won finals and leagues. So we have the bookies are going to be favoriting us all day long.
You know what? That's the similar feeling, isn't it? The pressures on Man United, Adam, to win this.
Yeah.
Obviously, Newcastle is going to be a good day for them. they've achieved a lot so far under Eddie Howe, but pressure's on Man United to win this, man. So do you think, because and Kaz makes a good point, we got winners in this team, man. Casemiro, Varane, they've been here, been in five pressure moments, so that should give us good kind of stead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big time, big time. And I think it's a very important point. You need winners. Like, it's no coincidence that we brought someone like Eric Ten Hag, who's all about winning. That's all he talks about every single time. And you get players who win stuff. Casemiro, when they told him that we were in the, well, he knew, but we were in the Europa League, and what does it feel not to play the Champions League? I think he answered that he won 5. He's not really nervous. And Varane, World Cup champion, 4 times Champions League winner. Martinez, World Cup winner. Like, he is another beast as well. So yes, it's ours to lose. We have to win this. There's no choice, really. We have to win this, because if we don't win it, I don't think we will win the next following games. The players will get in their mind. You can see them. It could rattle the team if they don't win it. But if they do, with the mood lifted up, I think we could even avoid injuries just by being in a good vibe, in a good state mentally. Players will rest quicker somehow, because you know how the body works. And just, I think it's overall more than important for us to win tomorrow. And I think it's going to be a tough game. I really don't. I don't like Newcastle.
On the winning thing, breeding confidence, because I guess there came a point in the season, probably around January or so, we weren't sure who was signing. We had a few injuries, and the questions were asked: which trophy should we prioritize? Which competition should we prioritize? And if you end up prioritizing competitions, you can end up in a bit of a rut. You lose a Europa League game that follows onto a Premier League, into a cup. Before you know it, you're out of everything. Of course, we know Arsenal are still top of the league, but they rested in the FA Cup and subsequently lost 2 out of the next
Carabao as well.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about just in that run where they lost to Man City, and then they went and lost to Everton, drew with Brentford, and then lost to Man City again. And of course, they pulled it back since then. But yes, we're going to have extra games because we play Barcelona, and we hopefully go beat West Ham. But would you rather lose to Barcelona, go into the cup final on a down, negative, tired legs anyway because you played the game, but now you lost, so there's less confidence going in. Winning breeds winning, and it breeds confidence. So I think it's important to win this, and then go and win an FA Cup and win the Premier League games, and you just keep winning until you can't win anymore.
Exactly.
The next game is the most important. Ten Hag always stresses that. He always speaks about, they talk about, are you going to win a quadruple? He says, I'm thinking about Sunday. That's the most important game, the Sunday, and I think that's how they need to treat it.
100%.
Big up to HK Musi. I said, blame the fans for the trophy drought. Supporting Ollie was the worst thing to happen to Man United. Well, listen, right now, you know what I mean? Ten Hag wants to win everything. You make a good point there, Nix, in terms of the, finding the balance of which trophies to go for. But I feel like for right now, United's creating a siege mentality. And I think right now, Ten Hag is just treating every game the same. He's treating every game with the sole focus of winning, that mentality that, you know what, we're still going to play a high game. We're still going to play our strongest team. Yes, there might be a few substitutions here and there, but, Ten Hag, I'm not going to lie to you, wants to go into every competition, winning every competition there is. Okay, the Premier League, he can analyze and be like, right, it's not down to us, it's down to others dropping points. But we're in control. We must win. We want to win. And that for me is crazy that that is.
That's the difference. That's the difference between us and United. Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans say, "Oh, should we prioritize?" Especially Agal. Big up Agal though. But he was the one to voice it the most. What should we prioritize, the Premier League or Europa League? And I'm looking at that like, what? Both. Prioritize both. You got the squad. You've had 3.5 years of Arteta now. Go for both of them. Why would you think about one? I thought, we've had no Jesus for like 4 months. I'm like, I don't want to hear that, bro. You got Bad Boy and Ketcher. You got now, False Nine Trossard in the show. I'm not even here to talk about Arsenal, but I'm saying this is the difference between mentalities of Manchester United fans and Arsenal fans. That's the difference. This is the size of Man United. We go into I want to win all of it. Everything. I actually think we're gonna win 2. I think we definitely can win 2 trophies this season. Minimum. That's the
It's-
worst
it's-
part. Minimum. I don't expect to win them, but I think we can win them. Do you get it? Differently.
It's crazy, guys, because at the beginning of the season, I would have taken top 4 and no trophy. But as you said, right now, like if we end the season with the Carabao Cup, or should I say, only 1 trophy, I'm gonna be slightly disappointed at the
I
stage that
lied.
we're
This
in
is
now.
what I'm saying.
I'm
I'm in the same boat,
could we have done more? But at the start of the season, you said 3rd place, Carabao Cup, I would have snatched your hand off. But Ten Hag's has raised the level. Like we've got our level as Man United fans. We know how great we should be. But the expectation that we had for this club and the team, and I guess the pressure that we weren't putting on Ten Hag straight away at the beginning of the season, we weren't expected to be here right now. So to be here is, it feels good, man.
You know what? I was never a fan of we need 3 years, 3 seasons, and this. No, man, you can actually get stuff done quickly. And Ragnick always said it, and I always agreed with that. I was never a big fan of you need 3, because you need 3 years. It's just so weird, or 4 years or whatever, because but when do you start judging the progress? You need to start judging it now from day one. So 100%. You don't have to get to 3 years and say, oh, but this and that. No, it starts now. And in 3 years, you should be actually a very well-established, strong side across all competitions. And when it comes to choosing and picking which competition to prioritize, we are not in a position when you can actually prioritize a competition. You need to be an established. Real Madrid can do that because they are reigning supreme in Europe. They can actually, you know what, Copa del Rey, maybe let the kids play because they have winners. Their mentality is already set at the very highest level. We cannot allow ourselves, with a bunch of losers we've had for the last years, to let them pick and choose which. They need to understand that everything is important. You only have Varane and Casemiro, in my opinion. You can say, let them be. But they want to win the Carabao Cup probably just as much as anyone.
Martinez definitely wants to win it.
100%.
Guy's hungry, man.
Because the whole team right now, though, is hungry. The whole team wants to win. You can see the camaraderie around the team now. You know what I mean? We've actually got finally a squad that is unified now, probably since Fergie. I genuinely do. Like beforehand, there was always kind of feelings of, you know what, that camp versus that camp. You know, we don't like this player, we don't like that player. Now everybody's in sync. You know, there's the players out there like maybe Maguire who are maybe casted aside, but even when they come on though, like there's not a feeling that fans want them to have a bad performance. Like, you know, we're here for the team, you know? So.
But you got someone like Maguire, it's like, right as it stands this season, I was listening to, I think it was, maybe Bruno Fernandes speaking actually. And the question was like, I'm surprised he didn't want to leave in the summer. No, it was actually, I think it was Darren Bent and Andy Goldstein. And not in the summer, sorry, in January, because he wants to play games. But he wants to win trophies as much as the next one. So he'd be like, listen, if I have to be on the bench for the next 2 finals and maybe come on and get 5 minutes, at least by the end of my Man United career, no matter when it goes, no matter whether they like me or don't like me, I'm going to have some medals, I'm going to have some trophies, something to show. So everyone, whether you're playing or not playing, there's no disharmony within the squad. You're 100% right. And of course, every professional wants to play. I'm sure Maguire wants to play. But he does the interview as the club captain, and he's like, well, listen, I want to play, but everything, Ten Hag knows what he's doing, basically. And it's good to see that you don't have that infight, because if you're going to win trophies, you're going to have times when you've got a first 11 or you've got senior players and others who just have to play backup. And we've had that throughout our time as Man United fans, and it should be no different now.
Absolutely. Big up to everybody watching. There's over 400 of you in the chat. Please smash the like button on the video. Make sure you're doing that right now. Bottom right hand corner, hit that like.
Let me respond to that Realist TV.
Realist TV is on you, man.
Only because you brought it up on the screen, and he's one that believe we need 3 to 4 years to win things. That's not true. I had a big debate on the football terrace with Igal, actually. Shout out Igal, but that's just the debate we had. And I said to him categorically, we are not Arsenal. So if you think our rebuild is going to be anything like yours, don't forget about it. When we're rebuilding, we can buy players like we did Pogba, like we've done Varane, Casemiro, even when we're in the Europa League. And if I'm saying that we're not like Arsenal, it's taken Arsenal 3 years to get to a title race, then do the maths. 3 years was never my, it's only going to be 3 years. Let's be honest. But I always believe that once you have the right recruitment and the right manager, you can quote unquote fast track the process to success. Chelsea, when they brought in Tuchel, won the Champions League in 5 months. Potter's here for 6 months and he's won 2 out of 15. Like, it's not one way, one process for everyone. Some clubs do it differently, and Man United are at a level where we can do it differently than someone like Arsenal.
Yeah, and we've overspent as well, man. Massively.
Yeah,
Like, you have to do that when you're in a desperate position. You have to overspend. That's why we end up spending the 220, 30 million. Like Anstey should not be. We probably overspent him 30 million extra on that guy. You know, who else did we bring in? Lisandro Martinez. We overspent by 10, 15 million. Like, these things add up, and we've overspent, which means it could actually affect our summer window depending what's going on in it. Like, we got this.
Obviously, it depends on what's going on with the Glazers and whatnot.
Yeah. That's
you know what? When it comes to Lisandro Martinez, I think we robbed them, and I would happily give them.
Yeah. Now, what is it? 50 million? Was he 50 million? Yeah. So 45 million.
Yo,
50, roughly. I'm saying that's a steal.
Yeah.
Right
now, you know what? The moment the Glazers leave, man, I'm getting a Martinez top, and this is not a debate, bro.
Yeah.
He's I love him to bits.
That's what I don't get is the fans on Twitter. I called it out on Trafford Tunnel yesterday. Yeah, for certain someone, he knows who he is. Like saying certain someone's Weghorst is a problem. I'm like, why is he a problem? And then he's like, oh, because he does this and like as soon as he comes with play. But I'm like, no, bro. Why are we winning games in fashion with Weghorst and without him as well at the same time? It doesn't matter. Like, we got no choice. We had to bring in a 2 million loanee, but you want to single him out as an issue. I think he's doing exactly what his value is at the moment. Just being available and doing some basic stuff. Yeah,
he's doing more because he shouldn't be playing as much as he's playing.
Can be doing more though.
I'm saying he's playing too much. Like, he's actually doing more than we for.
I didn't say, like, I'm not shielding him from criticism. I think everyone can hold criticism, but when you're singling him out as a problem in the team, I'm like, no, it's not, bro. Like, it's really not. Because I'm not joking. What we see in the stadiums compared to what you can see on TV, sometimes you see unnoticed stuff. You know, little things like closing spaces, and he highlights things like he's not getting enough goals. He's got like 1 in 9. I'm like, okay, so what about the little things like dragging away a defender, like 2 of them by the way, and being a magnet, closing off certain spaces because they can't, and then forcing the press where they force them into a mistake because of his angle that he closes. It's like, oh, but that's basic stuff for a striker. I'm like, where's the other strikers? Wait, where's the other strikers to do that then?
Exactly. And Rashford is scoring. Rashford is scoring. Like that. I mean,
yeah.
You are getting goals.
I mean, Rashford didn't even score against Barcelona or have the best game, but I'm meant to believe. But Man United, Rashford's the only one that can.
I think the overriding factor though is that still Man United are scoring from the bench like 19 goals. So I don't think it's down to Weghorst only. United are scoring 19 goals from the bench for a reason. And obviously that's Ten Hag, when to bring the right substitutions on, when not to. So I think there's a bigger issue and there's a better issue to kind of focus on, rather than kind of be like, oh, when Weghorst comes off, United play better. Listen, we are more fluid, yes, because obviously, everyone can interchange better. Rashford can play in behind. You know what I mean? Of course it is, but at the same time, Weghorst has his qualities and he will help the team in somehow. Let's bring up the squad. That's confirmed for tomorrow, that have travelled down. So you've got De Gea in goal, De Gea, Heaton, Butland, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Malacio, Casemiro, McTominay, Fred, Sabitzer, Elanga, Fernandes, Sancho, Garnacho, Anthony, Rashford, and Weghorst. So, no Martial, but Rashford is in there. Rashford is in there.
Standard team. I don't mind it. It's the best available what we got, and that's that.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, good to see that everyone's there. At the same time, you know what I mean? There was this kind of myth that Rashford would be injured, but he's available. He's ready. So, you know what I mean? What would you do tomorrow, by the way, Adam? Tactically tomorrow, the setup. Weghorst in the team, or you want to see left on Sancho? You know, what would you kind of like tactically be like? Because Newcastle don't concede goals, you know? So it's very difficult, man.
I have a very hard time to actually pick a starting 11, especially in the attacking side, even in the midfield, because now, Fred has been playing well the last few games, but Sabitzer can play, and this is not Barcelona. I think Fred had a clear role against Barcelona as pressing and annoying Frankie de Jong, so he was useful in that match. It's not going to be the same thing against Newcastle, so I don't know if you can expect Fred, Casemiro, Bruno. Maybe he's going to change it up, because last time Sabitzer played, he was very good. Was it against Leicester? I think. I
Yep.
really liked his performance. So even the midfield, I think, is a bit of a headache as well. So I'm waiting to see what Ten Hag is going to. I really don't have an answer for the midfield and for the forward line. I like Weghorst. I like what he does. I like how he keeps the team compact, and usually we go to halftime 0-0, or at least it's not a goal fest from either side because he improves the team defensively as well. But then again, usually we play a lot better with Sancho and Anthony on the team. Defensively, we don't concede as much, and we are more fluent. And at the moment, Rashford scores quite a lot of goals, and I would rather have Rashford at 9. But maybe we are going to lose a lot by not having Weghorst at 9, for example. Or I really don't.
But let me ask you, Adam, because Weghorst, I would say some of his best performances, whether it's 90 minutes or 45, have actually come with him at 10. So in the Barcelona first leg, he played in the 10. In the second half, I believe it was against Leeds, he played in the 10. And I think those were obviously the Leeds one came first, and we were like, whoa, Weghorst in the 10, there might be something, and he did it against Barca. Weghorst in the 9, as much as of course, the pressing, etc. In the first leg against Barca, it didn't work. Now I'm not saying it was his fault, but
I agree, yeah.
Via the team, etc., it didn't work. He wasn't able to run it behind because he hasn't got that game. He still holds up the ball in the way that he does, but the threat that Rashford or if Martial was a fit would pose on the last defender, Weghorst pose that. He's not a beast in the air. It's not like you can just keep pumping up to him and he's gonna take it on his chest, etc. So I think if he is gonna start, Rashford going through the middle can happen whether he starts or not. If you get what I'm saying, I think.
I think it depends on what team. Leeds wanted to play the higher line. Barca wanted to play the higher line. So it makes sense to put Rashford up front, doesn't it? But where Leicester, he played in a 10 and it didn't work because they also played a bit more of a mid block in a higher way, like a mid to low, if anything. And Weghorst ain't going to get him behind. But then you're playing an outlet of Bruno, doesn't work. You need. I think it would. I remember seeing a game where he played 9, and I think we played Garnacho and Rashford on the right. I think it's where we drew 2-2. I think, and it's like, why are we doing that? We're not playing any wingers that actually want to cross the ball in. Like one of those sort of players don't make any sense. And sometimes get some drivens in, like clearly against Forest, and he will get onto the end, like poach them. Weirdly enough, I just don't think. Sometimes I think Ten Hag kind of gets it wrong in his selection of thought of game, and I just think someone that's like Newcastle, where they're going to sit back and they're going to try to break on you. I think the one person you do want in there as your number 9 is Weghorst, because he will track the bigger players. Do you know what I mean?
And you know what?
If they want to play high line, stick Rashford up there. Done.
And the thing is, that's a good point, by the way, because against a low block or a team that is very compact, not conceding like Newcastle, you much rather have players like Sancho and Anthony out wide. The problem with Weghorst in the 10 is, so what do you do with the right wing and Bruno? Because if you put Weghorst in the 10, so who plays on the right? Anthony or Bruno? You have to play Bruno.
Yeah.
You have to. As much as I have my problems with Bruno, I think he's been good recently.
We've never seen Bruno in a 10 and Weghorst in a 9, because you know what, Bruno likes to go beyond the striker. Why? Yeah. I haven't seen that combination yet with them two, which I'm kind of intrigued. You know what?
He drifts out wide all the time, Bruno.
That's all the time, because he's accommodating. But now we got Anthony back, and for some reason,
and Anthony is kind of wide. Yeah, and Anthony's important defensively.
What we been screaming, Saeed? I know you want to read that super chat. What we been screaming? Anthony, the way he keeps the shape for Manchester United and his work rate just to track a man back it goes so unnoticed. And I get it. 80 million to track a man. Sometimes maybe yes, fundamentally.
Yeah. Exactly. It's true.
If he wins and we win trophies, I don't care what he costs. He did his job. That's basically, he did what he had to do. And another thing as well, when you have Anthony, Dalot is more relevant as a right back. So now, and if you don't have Anthony and Dalot, then you are very, very focused on the middle and the left side. It's easy to play against that. So when you have a threat, they cannot just neglect the right hand side. You have to care about it. That means you stretch Newcastle. And if you stretch Newcastle, you create more space in the middle and on the other side. When you play against a defensive team, you have to make the pitch as big as you possibly can. That's the basic idea. And you have a better chance of doing that with Anthony more than Bruno, even though he played. Bruno on the right is hit or miss. It depends. Sometimes it's great. It works very well. Sometimes it's not the right game for that. So it just depends. So I think it's a bit of a difficult one to predict the lineup.
Absolutely. Big up to Nate H. Said and Matt Frankie's having a chicken burger and thinking about how lucky we are to have Ten Hag need backing in the summer. Absolutely, man. Enjoy your burger. And yeah, man, listen, 100%, man. We need to back the manager of the summer. A big up to HK Music. The reason we're seeing Hogwarts and the Sancho in the 10 is because Ten Hag knows Bruno is wasteful and in the long run will be replacing the team. Bruno cannot play the kind of football in Ten Hag wants. Nate, do you agree with that one, or do you think
I 100% disagree? I think people have been trying to get Bruno out of this team for the longest while, and they've brought different theories about managers who will or won't like Bruno more than will. Bruno, I mean, his versatility already shows that the fact that he's hit and miss on the right, I 100% agree, but he can do a decent job from the right. He's very effective for us through the middle, creating chances, scoring goals. His goal scoring ain't been high this year, but creating chances, scoring goals, getting assists. And we know he's a leader on the pitch, so that's a kind of an intangible. But Ten Hag said something in, I think after the last game, talking about the speed that he wants to play at, the intensity. And I think people have maybe seen the way that he's played at Ajax, which is a completely different league, and think, okay, yeah, he's not going to play this. Bruno can't play the tiki-taka football. But Ten Hag's not coming to the Premier League with Man United but to play this tiki-taka football. He's going to, yes, want to have high possession, etc., but he's also going to respect the traditions of Manchester United, but also the Premier League and its style. The Premier League and its style, it is very effective with transition football, both ways. And he speaks about how Bruno is effective in the transition, both defensively and offensively. So I think it's a very easy to say without really any, I think, facts to suggest that he's not a Ten Hag player, because I believe that after this summer, when he gets some more players that he wants, Bruno will still be crucial to his team. Now, he's not as crucial to the team as he was like under Oli, where everything went through him.
Everything goes through him.
But then if we're going to be successful as a club, you don't want one player where everything has to go through. And if it doesn't work for him, the whole team's fall down. So I think, yeah, Bruno's not going to be as important as he was under Oli, but I think he's going to be as important as every other key member in the squad. That's for me.
Next, if I ask you, for example, let's suppose Eriksen comes back and we sign Frankie de Jong. You have Casemiro, Frankie de Jong, and Eriksen on the team. Do you think he would still start Bruno, or do you think he would bench him, considering Anthony plays?
I think he starts Bruno over Eriksen.
Yeah, if Eriksen gets benched, bro. He can barely last 90 minutes in a game in the way he wants to.
Talking about the profile-wise, if they are fit both, because they are very similar, just that Eriksen is a bit more refined in his play. And he loves Eriksen. He very rarely drops Eriksen.
Yeah, no, he doesn't drop Eriksen, but I think they are similar, but I think Bruno is an added goal threat in the team. And Frankie de Jong isn't a goal threat. And that's fair enough. He's not supposed to be. Casemiro is not a goal threat in that. As a defensive midfielder, yes, he has a threat in goal, but he's not one of your go-to guys. I think in that forward line, and it depends kind of what striker maybe he goes for in the summer as well, you want different weapons. And Bruno, as a goal threat, creating chances and scoring goals, I think he's better than Eriksen.
I'm going to respond to that when you do the next super chat, by the way.
Yeah, they're on to you, man. They're Neeks, man. They're on to you for some reason today.
I'll respond to that before you Neeks, by the way.
Yeah. Because Samuel Tway says, guy in the top right wants to start like a small club. This is United. I'm tired of a midfielder giving the ball away. We can always find a Bruno.
I'd have to disagree. Yeah, I'm gonna answer for you, because I think I've been in spaces with Unique. I was with Johnny on the agenda of Bruno out. Like, I hated what I was watching. And then I started going to more games. And I'll pretty much be to every single Manchester United home game this season, bar a couple, right? Newcastle, because I was ill. Remember that side? I was ill. Yeah. Every other game been to, even Carabao Cups and Africa, I've been to it. What he does for the team is priceless, bro. What you don't see on the camera is priceless. Like, yes, he gives away the ball, but nobody else is creating. I think there was a game against Aston Villa where Bruno didn't play. I think someone mentioned it in the comment, and look how flavorless we looked. And as people want to say, so now I'm quite pro Bruno, because I see what he does in a 10-arc system, which I really like. Yes, he gives away the ball, but we win the ball back quick because we're hiding deficiencies because he's trying to create. If you go look at how many, he don't look pretty on the eye. Like a Weghorst doesn't look pretty on the eye because he doesn't move like Ed Odegaard or someone like that.
You don't think there's an upgrade on him though?
In the world of football, in a world of football, in goal scoring, attacking mids, you name me at least 5 players, actually maybe 3 players that can actually get and do what Bruno does.
There are many players that I would pick over Bruno that I think are much better than him. And it's not about the goals. If the team plays, I don't care who scores the goals.
It's
Like
got
we
a
said
moment.
about when we talked about Weghorst when you defended him, I don't really care about who scores the goals. It depends. If the team is good and well put together, the goals are going to be scored somehow. Doesn't
No,
have
but
to
this
be
is-
We need to
But he's only scored 3 goals. So this season, the goals argument that people used before was that he was only masking his performances by goals, penalties, etc. He's only scored 3 goals in the league this
That's
season.
what I was going to say. I
No,
think
actually, no, he
but-
hasn't. No, he
but as a
hasn't. No, he
team-
hasn't. He
But as
hasn't.
a team, we're playing. So you said, Kaz?
No, he hasn't. He's actually
Well, in the
scored
league, I think.
5,
No,
6 goals.
in the league.
He scored 5, 6 goals this season.
Well, what I'm saying is his goal tally is nowhere near what it was the last couple of years. But as a team, we are playing better. So what basis by which getting someone else means that the team's going to play better? Regardless of how many
It
goals
doesn't
we
know. And I
play.
don't think our future lies in 4-2-3-1. I think it's 4-3-3. Bruno's back to goal annoys me. I don't like him in a 10. I like him in more an advanced 8 or just the 8 because he's got the engine. He's always available. It doesn't look like he's tiring out. The fitness regime that Ten Hag's got him on and everybody else and looks like it's benefited him. He can't wait to play. And also, by the way, he's nearly on double figures for both goals and assists this year. He's on 10 assists, 7 goals this season. So he's not actually that far off a tally with many more games to go. And people don't realize that he's refined his game a little bit more. Look at that goal against Rashford. Against Leicester. He made that goal.
The Bruno we have now is not the same Bruno we had. He doesn't do the same things. He's looking like captain material as well. Anyone on the pitch, yes, he's a moaner, and I've been critical of him, like just throwing his toys at the pram. It does piss me off, but it's within his character. You can't change everything about somebody. And remember, this is someone that was anti-Bruno, and now I'm pro-Bruno. Like, I like him, what I see. And when he goes in the midfield, you can clearly see when we play so much better. And the fact that, yes, I accommodate out wide told you some issues. And wait till we get a ball-playing midfielder and a proper striker, that is actually fit, because he actually plays well with Martial, to be fair. When he gets up and we go further up the pitch, watch how Bruno creates a lot more, and he does that, and he has to do a lot less, meaning he's got more in his bank, meaning his mind is fresh. Do you get what I mean? Because he doesn't have to do so much work.
I think I would like a different type of number 10 as well. Someone who, when it's a low block game, you know what I mean, can rely on his intelligence. I think sometimes with Bruno Fernandes, he sometimes maybe kind of forces things, and that kind of allows him to kind of make silly mistakes and whatnot. So I do think competition is needed anyway. I think Bruno Fernandes has a place in this squad, but I just want a different type of number 10 alongside him. So then when we are trying to kind of figure out different things, we've got the option.
But you know what is so side as well? On top of that, Eriksen, he looks more pretty on the eye, but if we're deep in it, he gives away the ball if not just as much or more than Bruno this season alone. But no one wants to have that conversation. Yes,
no, the problem is, and I agree with you.
The game. Sorry?
No, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just saying, even though I think Eriksen got about 7-8 assists this season, then we're going back to the GA thing that we love to do, that we want to pinpoint Bruno on. But if we're actually deep in Eriksen's performances, he hasn't leveled anywhere near Bruno's performances. You get what I mean? If you want to do, and the fact we're comparing someone that's not actually doing a 10 job for us or out wide compared to someone that's actually been a deep line playmaker, it's just a stupid argument in itself.
Because I think the problem is,
before you come in, Adam.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to get the super chats in. United fans are funny. Bruno gives the ball away. He is trying to create. United fans are funny. Bruno gives the ball away. Gives the ball. He is trying to create. Fred does it. He is shit. Bruno is not world-class 10. He can easily be replaced and will be. That's from HK and Music. JJ Ash says, Salama, bro. Big up to you, man. Wish you good luck tomorrow, because that's probably the only trophy likely for you this season. Say we are top of the league. You know, I'm not going to say the rest of it. Samuel Twer says, Bruno is drunk. KDB, silly boy. Bro, listen, I think it's, you know what? I don't know why. It's a divisive fan base, Bruno Fernandes, Adam. You know, and it's one of them. I'm open to admitting, like, my relationship with Bruno, 1 minute it's very, very mad, and then 1 minute, listen, I love him. So it's like one of them for me, man, because that's what he is. That's what performances he gives you. It's never consistently good. It's always, it could be that or it could be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the thing with Bruno is, I don't think he will ever be my type of ideal player, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have attributes and good stuff, and he can't be a very good player for us. I'm not anti Bruno or pro Bruno. That's not the way how I think about it.
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course, I would prefer someone like Martin Odegaard. To me, it's just all around a better footballer. My problem with Bruno, and this is why I rate him much more highly this season compared to the previous season, it's not about losing the ball. It's about losing the ball trying to do the wrong thing. I can forgive player losing the ball trying to do the right thing. And Eriksen is more likely to try to do the right pass and lose the ball. And Bruno was before this season more likely to lose and waste possession trying to do the wrong things. This is my problem. This is why I have a problem this is why I prefer Martial to Rashford, because when one does lose the ball, he loses it not trying to do the best thing or the right thing. He loses it with it's just wasteful. And other players lose the ball and they lose it trying to do the right. It's easier for us as fans to forgive you trying to do the right thing. And now this season, you could see both Rashford and Bruno have improved on that. They are not trying as hard to do something that is a bit silly. And as a result, it improved the whole team.
You know the maddest thing, Adam. I'll speak even for this. You lot can complain all you want. He's going to be captain next season, whether you like it or not. So gear up, get on board, and we're going to win a Premier League somewhere or something.
Strap in, boys! Strap in!
Nah, the captain thing, I don't have a problem with it because look, beggars can't be choosers, isn't it? Look at the state of the captain.
Saying, I created this agenda. Listen, I just give my opinion on a game-to-game basis with Bruno Fernandes.
Getting called out.
No, I don't create Listen, I just report on what I see. Like last season, it was terrible. When he's doing well, I credit him. That's just the way I am. If you're playing well, I'll credit you. If you're not playing well, I'll say what's going wrong. That's just the way I kind of roll.
The thing is, like, when people have agendas, and it's not me saying it's the chat, but when people in general have agendas, and there are people who you have an agenda against someone, but when they're playing well, you have to credit. There's nothing you can do. But when that person does something bad, you hear like the pent up frustration that they weren't able to get out for months because they were playing well all come out. So I'll give you an example. Bruno missed that chance against Barcelona in the first or so, which he should have scored. We know Rashford would have scored it, for example. But
then he creates it for Fred.
What? Say that again?
You get what I mean? He creates it for Fred.
But for God's sake, Bruno, but you get on with it now. People who have an agenda will be like, this is why Bruno can't play for Ten Hag. I can't wait till he's replaced with someone. So
that's why you get Johnny. That's why you always get a Johnny. That's why every game you pretty much get a Johnny apology from Johnny saying, "I didn't know that about Bruno. I got to have my hands up." Is a
but you see, for me, there was a chat earlier from HKN, I think it is, and he said Bruno's not a world class 10, easily replaced. Whether Bruno's a world class 10 or not, let's agree that he's not a world class 10. Name me the world class 10 that you're going to buy to replace. Because you can say Odegaard, but we're not going to buy Odegaard. You can say KDB, but we're not going to buy KDB. Name me the world-class 10 who we want to replace Bruno with. And until that person comes in and then he produces how Bruno has, it's just words. It doesn't what I know for a fact is that Bruno has been good for Man United since he's been there. And this season, he's improved in a way that a lot of people didn't think he could. So if he's improved in under 8 months under Ten Hag, why are we assuming that going forward he can't improve anymore? Do we think this is his ceiling? I mean, people that think maybe this is his ceiling probably thought how he was playing before was his ceiling. So I just think we can deal with what's in front of us, and I like the Bruno that I'm seeing.
It's better. Absolutely. It's a better version, absolutely.
Big up to Nate H. By the way, City have just scored 1-0 to City against Bournemouth. Nate H says, is HKN really comparing Bruno and Fred? Fred couldn't get a game when Eriksen was fit. Fred had great moments, but he's not a consistent player. Another one, though, that derives a lot of opinion. But, you know, Fred in the first half, you know what I mean, Adam, is garbage. Second half, he's amazing. Like, so, you know what it is? I just feel like it's like, you know, I should always say to people, have your own opinion and stick to your own opinion. But at this minute right now, like, you're going to get players who will, like, be like, yo, I proved you wrong second half, or I did this. Overall, grand scheme of things, you're probably going to say he's not the right fit. But this season is going to be like up and down performances, man. You know what I mean?
Fred is hilarious.
You know? He's hilarious, man. Would you start him tomorrow? Would you start him tomorrow, Adam? Fred?
I really don't know, to be honest. Because once again, it's a lottery with Fred. Like he is either Brazilian or from somewhere else. You just never know. Well, I've always liked Fred. I've always asked, and I think I said that on the last show we did when I said if Casemiro plays, I can expect a good performance from Fred, and this is usually what happens. I think I told that to you, Saeed, last week or something.
You did.
And because Casemiro is just so intelligent that you can benefit from Fred's energy because someone is covering.
Yeah.
And it's very important. So, but then again, sometimes Fred, you can receive the ball and loses it every time. So you just never know what to expect. And I don't know. Maybe I would start him to. I don't know. I really, really don't know. I don't know.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't start him personally because if I'm talking about low block, then I got to keep with the consistency with the type of player. I think it was I don't know if it was Crystal Palace or something. Like he had a great game the week before. I think Man City. Then the next game he was absolutely trashed. Like the next game, do you know what I mean? I just don't think he suits that. I think if he's gonna be more vital for me when we need to bring a player on to shut out the game. I'd rather bring on a fresh Sabitzer who's raring to go and he's got more of attacking qualities to him. Where I think we can still dominate the game. But if you have a Casemiro, Bruno, and Sabitzer midfield, you still got your energy. You can still control it. You can still do whatever you want. Weghorst will provide the extra legs that you need for me personally. And I think that might be a good way to start. Fred deserves to start, of course, but we've seen Ten Hag be ruthless in selection when it needs to be for what he wants. And I think Fred's played a lot of minutes lately. So I'd like to see just a couple rotations because I wouldn't be angry about Wan-Bissaka or Dalot starting at this moment of time. I think Wan-Bissaka clearly looked like he was tired. So again, Wan-Bissaka might be the good counterbalance option. He's a great tackler and he'll keep your energy there as well and keep St. Maximin closed. If not, bring on Dalot, start Dalot maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Big up to Samuel Tway says world class 10, but sharing the 10 with a lone striker. Lol. Listen, Ten Hag's got his system in it, so it's one of them, man. Samuel, you know what I mean? He prefers Bruno on the right. You know what I mean? That's another situation as well. Bruno on the right, or is it Anthony who had a great impact, Neeks? You know,
has to be Anthony. Has to be.
It has to be. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it has to be
Yeah,
Anthony.
I think it has to be. I think Ten Hag couldn't wait to bring him back in the side. Like the moment he sniffed fitness, he was on the bench and he played the 45 minutes. Like you just knew that 1-0 down, he was going to bring on Anthony. He played 45 minutes, scored a goal. I think there's no reason not to start him. Even if Ten Hag says he can't give us 90 minutes, well, let's give me 65, give me 70
But you
minutes.
can put Anthony and put Sancho out there if you wanted to.
Sancho, Anthony ready to start?
I think Anthony has to start.
I've always wanted Sancho. I think even this game would be. I know Sancho had an awful game in a 10 against, not awful, not a great game in a 10 against Barcelona, but this sort of midfielder, Bruno Gomes, who's not on no match sharpness, I think even now Sancho would probably suit the 10 there as much as Bruno might suit the 10. I like Sancho more on the right than the left. I think he's way better there. He gives us a better option, and we can actually cross. We can actually cross the ball, you know, like an actual proper swinger, you know. But he's definitely starting Anthony, bro. 100%. Last time he played against Dan Burton, see Dan Burton, yeah, he likes a touchline winger in it. When you coincide against Dan Burn, I think it's easy to see with Salah, with Anthony when he played against it. Man moves in slow motion like Fraser Ford playing goal for flipping Tottenham. You know what I mean? So it's like I'd rather that and then see what we can grab because Anthony has got. He's a whether we like it or not, he's actually a big game player. No joke. He scores in big games.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I think Sancho might start on the bench if Rashford is fit enough to start. To be honest.
Yeah, of course he will. Yeah.
But the thing is, and it's purely correlation. Like it's not, we can't prove this, but from observation alone, we play better with Anthony and Sancho in the team, regardless of where they play, even if they don't play well. Somehow it feels like the team has a better shape and more passes, and we play and move the ball more. And you can see with Ten Hag, he brings Sancho and Anthony into the side every time he can. He notices those things. And he is willing to move Rashford from the left to the right, to the 9, to Bruno to the right, just to have actually to manage to get Anthony and Sancho in the team. So I think it might be Rashford, Weghorst, Bruno in the 10, Anthony. You might take off Weghorst like he did against Barcelona, put Sancho on and move Rashford to 9. Something like that. And maybe bring on Garnacho at some point and just bring
Garnacho would be so good if we're winning 1-0, 2-0, they're chasing the game. Oh my word! Then you have to make a decision. Do you shut the game or do you bring on Garnacho? Honestly, Bring on
I
Garnacho.
think you do both. You bring on like a Fred and Garnacho.
Yeah, Fred, Garnacho, and if
At the same
Wan-Bissaka isn't
time.
playing, Wan-Bissaka, put Rashford up
You
front,
got
take
options,
Weghorst
man.
off, absolutely kill them on a counter attack. Kill them.
Yeah, and then you play Bruno on the right because since he's a midfielder, even though he's not the most defensive, he's still he's still defensive
Yeah, just
enough.
have Fred, Sabitzer, Casemiro. I would have that all day long. There's still balance.
Yeah.
And then move Sancho to the 10 and then play Garnacho on the left.
The best
Yeah.
thing what we're saying here is options.
Yeah, options, absolutely. HKB says Musiala, Florian Wirtz, James Madison, Pitio Zelensky, Bernardo Silva, Dybala, many tens better than Bruno Fernandes.
Dybala prop in
Every
2023,
single one of them
allow
that
me.
he said, bar Bernardo Silva, who hasn't been playing 10, by the way, who plays more on the right and is struggling to get in. None of them are better than them this season alone. None of them are better.
And they're not world class, and some of them not attainable. So
the Dybala's always injured and never available. He's in Roma's team. He's having a decent season, but you're playing too much. I think there's a bit more FIFA aspect there, my guy.
Yeah, it's
Guarantee that guy is definitely not watching Bundesliga, Serie A, Premier League, and everything all in the same days. Oh my god! If you are, then my guy, you are an absolute spectacle, and I'll rate it. But let's face it, you're not.
Musiala's a top player, though. Top player, man.
I like him.
Like I said,
yeah, I like him. He's not so much in the 10 though.
Yeah, this is it, man. This is it. But yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting, man. And like I said, defensively, I'm not really too bothered. It's just a midfield balance and finding that. Newcastle, though, should we be worried, though, Neeks? They don't concede many goals. Sven Botman, they've had kind of almost tailed off lately, but still, though, they don't concede many goals, man.
They've got a puncher's chance. I'm going to this game thinking they've got a puncher's chance. They don't. Say that again.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, like a boxing fight. You mean? Like they have to, okay.
Yeah, I think they've got a good defense and they've been defensively solid, but as each game ticks by, they're finding it harder and harder to score. But of course, they've got people that can score. They can pop up in the moment. A Callum Wilson can pop up. Isak can pop up with a goal. Even Joe Linton might be able to pop up. Saint Maximin, who've got a bit of maybe an X factor, a spark that can create something in a moment. But going into this game, we are flying. We are the form team probably in Europe right now. If we're going to be honest, with Napoli, don't forget Napoli. Napoli are doing probably second to Napoli, I would say, considering they're in the Champions League. We are the form team in Europe, and some of our players are the form players in Europe as individuals. Newcastle, on the other hand, I think they've drawn 5 out of their last 6. They're going the complete opposite direction in terms of their form. But what we saw in that Liverpool game, they went down to 10 men, and granted, Liverpool are no barometer to judge anyone by, but they went down to 10 men in that game, and they were still pretty good. They were still creating openings, chances. I think in the end, Saint Maximin actually got the man of the match, which when you lose 2-0 is crazy. But I think it's going to be a tough game. Newcastle make it tough for us because they're a good, solid team, and it's a final. Finals aren't supposed to be easy, even if you're coming up against a quote-unquote easy side. But I have so much confidence going into this game. Like, I don't remember the last final I went into with this much confidence. I think not even the Crystal Palace one.
Probably 2003 Millwall FA Cup final.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm going to this with so much confidence. So, yeah, Newcastle will make it tough, but I think it's one of those where if we can score early, it could be a rout. It could be.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. Big up to Latif. Farah says Bruno's availability and playmaking is why Heisenberg would build around him. Just these ballers around him. So again, Latif is giving Bruno Fernandes props. Guys, keep smashing the likes up on the video. Let's get the likes up to at least 250. So if you've not liked the video already, please smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the guys. Neek Sport, Never a Foul as well. I'm following Adam on his socials. You know what? Let's analyze the squad. Let's give our team we would play on tomorrow. So I'm gonna put the team lineups on the screen right now, and we're gonna kind of debate it. In goal, I'm guessing David De Gea. We all agreeing on that one?
Yeah.
Yep,
no, let's get a super keeper who can kick the ball. No, I'm joking.
Listen,
I'm joking.
By the way, there was a guy on Twitter, I don't know who it was, but these David De Gea haters, they actually, what they're doing is, they said, you know that header against Kunde, They said that David De Gea should have caught the ball.
Oh, stop it! Stop it!
Swear down. I'm gonna try and bring it up, man. There was a tweet. Apparently, David De Gea should have saved the cross.
Should have caught it. They said he should have caught it, but it's camera angles versus what it should look like is probably a whole different thing, and whatnot. So yeah,
and it's the timing as well, man. It's the timing as well. So you know what I mean, man, it's crazy. But that's why I said to people, the David De Gea haters just want to hate for the sake of it. They don't want to actually.
But he does cause us issues where we shouldn't.
Yeah, but I understand that. But the way they nitpick at it is ridiculous, man. I get it, but you know he's not good at distributing. You know what I mean, and kicking out for the back. We get that. But then they're trying to go at him for not saving certain saves and catching things. But anyway, listen, we'll do that anyway. Wan-Bissaka or Dalot? This is interesting, you know.
I'm having Wanby all day long. I'm having Wanby. I'm shoring up that Wanby. I think
Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, bro. He not only does he should start, he deserves to start the final. That's what I'm saying. He deserves to start because if they want to put Saint Maximin on the left, I'm not having Dalot there. And if they don't, and the thing is, we all know Saint Maximin can't last 90 minutes in a game either. So he's coming off at some point. Anthony Gordon, aka Princess Diana, don't give me that. He can't even play anyways. And then they might have to play Joe Willock outside. So
yeah, taking the piss, guys.
So it's like if it is Wan-Bissaka playing more in the inside, which might actually help Casemiro just that little bit because we know Dan Burn ain't getting up the pitch. I'm having Wanby all day, and I think he links up with Anthony better as well.
I only have one thing in mind is Barcelona. Every time they made a long ball to the right, to their left side, it was a free space, and Wan-Bissaka running back. The awareness from I don't know, and that's the side of Saint Maximin, the left side.
Yeah, Delot's perfect. After that, you know, that's when he replaced Wanby. He just looked cool as ice. I'll be real, like Lindelof kind of stuff. Cool as ice, calm as
Look,
you can get.
Lindelof is not my definition of cool as ice, but he scares the life out of me.
On the ball in it. So it's like, you know, if you're trying to close out game fresh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Haaland 2-0.
The right back one's a tough one, you know. I'm not gonna, because I actually think that there's two factors. Obviously, you got the Saint Maximin factor, why you'd want a Wan-Bissaka, but
he's 100% starting, by the way. He just
you're expecting Newcastle to be sitting back, and therefore you need more creativity, more weapons, more options.
You need more awareness.
Yeah, but you need more awareness in terms of the counter attack because we will be prone to it. And I'm having.
Adam, are you saying Wan-Bissaka over Dalot or the other way around?
No, I think Dalot has more awareness.
Nah,
I think he's more. I think that Dalot is more conscious of his environment and surroundings than Wan-Bissaka is. One-on-one, I'd pick Wan-Bissaka when it comes to defending, but I think Dalot does a lot of defending that is not actually seen just by placing himself in the right spaces.
You know what the maddest thing is, yeah? Like, there's this myth that Dalot's actually good at crossing and everything. He's not. Wan-Bissaka's actually got a better delivery than him and has been putting in better deliveries of late than I've seen Dalot all season. Yeah, you can cook the one back at Southampton for the assist, but
the problem is
I'm going with Dalot. What are you going for? What are you going for, Neeks?
I think
because we're gonna have to choose as a group. So whatever we choose is what's gonna happen.
I think I might edge Dalot. Dalot.
I've lost.
So Wan-Bissaka for Kaz and you. What do you get? Adam, what are you going for?
I'm going with Dalot. And you know what, Kaz? I agree that Wan-Bissaka's crossing is not the problem. It's the triggering of the cross. The way he gets himself in motion to put the cross that is the problem. That is a bit clumsy, not the quality of the ball itself.
Yep, absolutely. So that's the situation there. Okay, centre backs. To be fair, the back four, rest of them were kind of unanimous, right?
Maguire, Lindelof, and
yeah, exactly.
Tellez,
Oh my god! You know what? Yeah,
that guy is
Tellez. Oh my god, he's the biggest fraud ever.
You know what? I think he was poor. I think Luke Shaw is much better, but I don't think he was as bad. I think he reminded me of Bruno at left back and like Fred in midfield. You just don't know.
Come on, allow it.
Fred at left back, when he had the chance, when he did go there, he was cooking at some point.
Nah, this is crazy.
He's so weak, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. He is, man.
Tellez was a nightmare, bro. Good thing he cost that 12 million, man.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna pick at least Casemiro here because
Oof, I'm
obviously
not
that's
sure.
it.
I'm just joking, bro. Of course
Yeah,
he
I was
gets.
gonna say, man. Casemiro. So right, Fred or Sabitzer. I am gonna go with Fred. Brazilian versus Brazilians because they have Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton.
Is this what you expect or what you prefer?
No, we're doing. Obviously, the manager will pick his manager. So we have to debate together what we're gonna pick. I'm going for Fred and Casemiro. Guys in the chat, let us know Casemiro and Sabitzer, and let us know what you would go for.
Oof.
It's a tough one, you know. Fred deserves to start based on his performances recently, but does that mean it's the right decision? That's what I really.
They're gonna play. Bear in mind, they will play Sean Longstaff, and they're only fit, and they'll have 2 physicals in there. I'm just gonna go back with it, and I know Fred's tenacious, but I'll do it because you lot are not making up your minds. I'm saying Sabi straight away.
Sabi, yeah. Okay.
Easy, man.
Sabi,
He's fresh.
Sabi,
I want fresh legs.
The problem is he might be actually a bit too fresh. Hasn't played since Leicester, you know. And
No, but I hear it. But I want the option where we can close out the game. If you're telling me Delo and you can close it out with Fred, Wan-Bissaka, and yeah, even dare I say McTominay and even the Harry Maguire just towards it. I'm taking that option. I have
All
to
right,
take
but
that
let
option.
me. Do you? What did you say? Sabitzer, isn't it?
I would. I want
Because I'm thinking,
creativity.
do I want Fred and Wan-Bissaka playing? I don't, probably not. Dallo and Fred works. Wan-Bissaka Sabitzer works. I know they don't play the same position, but I mean, even options passing out from the back, you don't want 2 players that are scared to receive the ball with.
They're not though. Have you not seen Wan-Bissaka lately? He wants the ball more than anybody.
He's not scared.
And
but I'm scared. I'm scared. That's what
okay, you're scared. Can I give you one more? Can I give you one more option? Then Sabitzer's got a great long shot on him, and that's a great option. And that's what Fred doesn't have.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Long shot.
Sabitzer has a great long shot.
Oh, okay.
And they got Karius in goal, bear in mind.
Is he fit?
Okay.
I saw a tweet that he might be injured as well. Is that true?
Yeah.
Or
Wait, Karius is injured?
I just saw a tweet. I really don't. I'm asking. I really don't know.
Apparently, they've got no keepers going to. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what's
If they
happening.
don't have a keeper, man, you need to put Bruno and Rashford on the shift, and it's on site.
Yeah. Okay, then. So I've gone for Fred. Neeks, you've gone for.
Oh, I ain't gone for anyone.
You got to go with someone.
Okay, I'm gonna go Fred. You got Dallo, Fred. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Fred. Kaza said Sabitzer, and then you have said, my friend Adam.
Oh, it's a tough one. I'm going with Fred as well, but this could be. I just don't know.
Okay, Fred has won the votes. 3-1.
I hear it though. The balance of the low and Fred, I hear it. I do hear it because I do hear it. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it could be the other way around as well.
It makes sense.
It could easily be
Wan-Bissaka. Fred can cover probably a lot more grass than if the lowest got the field than what Sabitzer can. So I hear it.
Yeah. Right. Attacking midfielder role. Is it Sancho? Is it Rashford on the right? What are we doing for the front 4? Let's go with the 10. Are we putting Bruno in the 10?
Yeah, let's put Bruno in the 10.
Yeah.
I think.
Adam, what would you say if you just had a chance?
Yeah. I have to put Bruno then because I want Anthony to play. So
yeah.
And the thing with Bruno
on the right.
His energy is so important. Like you can see his weaknesses here, passing there, fine, whatever. But he is important to the tempo. He brings energy up for everyone, and that is something that should not be disregarded.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna put 10 and on the right, Anthony. On the left,
no, sorry, Anthony. I think he meant Anthony Alanga, not Anthony.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
this is the interesting one. What you lot would rather do? Because I heard Adam say it. I think Adam said it earlier. I don't know who you want on the left.
But the thing is, right now in the current form, you have to pick Rashford for his goal-scoring threat because he is a danger at the moment.
Who do you want versus Trippier? That's the question. Who do you want versus Trippier, and who do you want versus Sven? By the way, there's this. Kendall was saying, as tall as their team is, they're not good in the air. Joe Linton not good in the air. Their back line is not good in the air. There's this myth that Shaw, Botman, and Dan Burn are not as great as people say. So what we're saying that 6 foot, if you're about taller than a 6'2", you're not that great, really. That logic, innit?
Well, who said that?
Kendall is just like she's just not confident. She said that her back line is a myth that they're great in the air. Newcastle aren't.
Okay.
I think I'd go Rashford on the left and Weghorst up front. The reason why I say is because I would rather bring Sancho and Garnacho off the bench to impact the game rather than bringing Weghorst off the bench to impact the game. If Weghorst was, I don't know if you remember, I think his name Nikola Zigic. He used to play for Birmingham.
Oh my god, what Birmingham?
Yeah. So if he was
What
that kind of,
the one against Arsenal in the
he
final.
scored in the League Cup final,
Yeah,
and that's why
yeah,
it came
yeah,
to
yeah.
my head. But if he was that kind of like just a lump it forward to him, he'll flick it on it, then you can say, bring Weghorst for the impact off the bench. But the way that I've seen him play so far, I think those two, Garnacho and Sancho, make a bigger impact off the bench than Weghorst, even though he's a quote unquote a different option. So I think not for that alone, but I think that's one of the reasons why I would start Weghorst and Rashford and have Sancho and Garnacho on reserve.
Because you know what?
I think that's a good option as well. You're right.
Weghorst with less space to cover and not run around where he knows you're near enough in the box
we need-
anyways. Do you get what I mean?
Any striker in the Premier League is going to struggle because these guys have been so good. Botman and Shah. So what I said on the Newcastle previews is that you're probably gonna need Weghorst to kind of just get them out of position. Make sure they kind of follow him and him just to cause a bit of disruption in there, drag defenders away, and then after that you got Rashford running in behind. That's the way I kind of look at it. So I'm with you, Nix. I would go with Rashford on the left and then Weghorst up front. Kaz, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm going with a Weghorst option up front. Less space to cover. There's not really going to be any in behind. I think he links up extremely well with Anthony as well. I saw 2 games where he links up and Anthony gets a lot closer with him, and I like that. Rashford don't need the link up too much because he does his thing with Shaw and Bruno Fernandes more time. So I'm all for that. I like that team. It's good enough. It should definitely beat them. Tire out that midfield and we'll be good, man. Trust me. They'll bring on Joe Willock. I don't think Bruno Gomes is going to last the whole game.
There you go. Adam, are you the same as well? Rashford
Rashford and Weghorst, we said, yeah?
Yeah, Rashford and Weghorst.
I think it's a sticky one because the thing is, we are expected to have more of the ball. So it makes more sense to have Weghorst at 9 because you don't want to be in a possession team and have Rashford at 9. You're not getting his best attributes and you're probably getting one of his worst attributes. You don't want him to be the one holding and linking and just link. That's not really his best suit. So Weghorst makes sense. But then again, against a low block camped in the opposition half, Rashford on the left is not his best suit. Is not his biggest strength as well. But Rashford is a goal threat at the moment. You cannot really leave him out. So I expect us to go with Rashford on the left and Weghorst at 9. At halftime, we might switch it because I think Weghorst gives us the best chance of. I think our goal is to go to halftime 0-0.
I'm telling you now, we'll keep
1-0, man. 1-0, 1-0.
With that midfield, that whole current, let's say 6, that team is 100% winning the ball back quick.
Yeah,
just like against Palace. Do you remember the first half against Palace? That's the team we had. We had the Anthony, Rashford, Bruno. Look how quick we was winning. This is our first Weghorst game. It's not fit, by the way. We were winning the ball back instantly. We just couldn't put our dinner away, unfortunately. So I would like. I think so. I think I would like that lineup. You know what? I'm in agreement. Fuck it.
Yeah. Just to answer the chat. Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I said. I spoke in French without being, just got out actually.
Yeah, man. Listen, I think it's one of them where you know what I mean, any kind of dynamic, it's going to be one of them. But you've got Garnacho on the bench. You've got if I was just to kind of put the bench here, you've got Garnacho. You've still got Elanga on the bench.
How dare you?
You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at the forwards, and you've got Sabitzer. Who else would you have on the bench? You got McTominay.
Yeah, McTominay.
Yeah, Saka.
Lindelof.
Yeah, Lindelof as well.
Yeah, I don't want Maguire on the bench.
And Sancho.
Lindelof.
You're on mute.
And Sancho, yeah, Sancho. So it's good options.
Yeah.
Maguire needs to come on to lift the trophy.
Bro.
That's in the contract,
Yeah.
you realise?
Listen,
Is it in
anybody
his contract?
No.
Yeah, so in terms of the outfield players, he's got them there. So we've got Jadon Sancho, Sabitzer, Garnacho, Ilanga if you need. You know, McTominay played up front, you know what I mean, for the last couple of minutes. So we've got options in there if we need to. Right, let's get our predictions in. Guys, keep smashing the likes up on the video. Right now, if you haven't liked the video already, please do smash the likes up. Van der Gaag deserves more credit. It's just not Eric Ten Hag. It's a team, man. It's Benny McCarthy. It's everyone, man. Everyone involved. We are a
McLaren,
team.
everything.
Yep. There you go. I'm gonna go with United to win 2-1. Neeks, what are you going for?
I'm going 2-0. I'm going 2-0.
2-0. Okay. Kaz, what are you saying?
I think it's 2-0. I think we go 1-0 up. I think we actually get an early-ish goal, and then I think it might be one of them things where they start to attack us 80th minute, kill it, done kind of situation. For me, anyways, I think 2-0. I don't actually think they pop off a lot of goal. I'll be real.
Yeah. There you go. 3-0. Adam, let me know your prediction.
Yeah, I'm between 2-1 and 2-0 as well. I'm going optimist with 2-0 because I love Varane and Martinez so much that I have to rep my guys.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, man, that's your predictions in. 3-0 says LLB's LCBC. Alien Tenno 4-0. 1-0 says Alexander. 2-0 says Dewaskio. Jesus says 6-0. RJ says 2-0.
Can you imagine? Kendall will never show a face and ever again.
Bro.
You know what the thing is, Newcastle fans, and I know, in the 90s there was a little period where we were fighting for the title, but a lot of them are forcing this rivalry, and I haven't bitten all season. I'm just letting them do it. But if we beat them, when we beat them, I'm gonna go in on them. Not directly. I'm just gonna put the tweets out, and I want the nibbles. I want the nibbles because, and it's the rivals as well. Big up Patrick. Spurs fan. He's like, I want Newcastle to win. Brother, you ain't won a trophy in how long? Newcastle, Johnny come lately. Last year, Eddie Howe came in. And they're going to win a trophy before you. Tottenham fans, we are not your rivals. Don't focus on us. Stop focusing on us. Do your thing in it. But it's going to shut up so many people. And I know it's just the League Cup. But if we don't win it, a lot of people are going to be talking. So I'm looking at it as a trophy. It's not just the League Cup.
No, we have to win it. We have to win it. No discussion about it. It's important.
Yeah.
We can't act like other fan bases and say, prioritize this or it's only this and only that. No. There's only Madrid that can speak like that at the moment. And I don't see no Madrid in England, so behave, guys.
Oh, Foden. Oh, my God. What a goal that is from Foden.
What is it, 3-0 already?
3-0, man, for half-time. That's a lovely goal. Yeah,
wow.
Foden. But listen, people, we're going to wrap it up here. Big up to everybody who's been watching. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, people. Make sure you do that. I'll be at Wembley tomorrow. Early rise to London for the game. Neeks, man, it's been a pleasure, man. Let them know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, Neek Sports everywhere, YouTube and Twitter. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. Big up to Kaz. Never a foul. What are you telling him?
Not much. Pleasure as always, Saeed. Never a foul. You can see all the socials there, man. It's in the description as well, I'm pretty sure. So anyone wants to subscribe, Daps is there as well, Man City fans. So if you want to rinse him when they end up losing one day, it might be all right.
There you go, man. And Adam, man, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the game tomorrow, man.
Yeah, of course, my guy. Always a pleasure and big up everyone.
Absolutely. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Tomorrow I'll see you. Hopefully for when we win the game tomorrow and we win the Carabao Cup, man. It's going to be a big one, people. Make sure you tune in for all the content tomorrow, the vlog, the match reaction, everything. Make sure you tune in, people, and hopefully United win the Carabao Cup. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Peace.